A crazy story. Here's one right here. Radio personality stunned by cops while in handcuffs. Mistrial declare in lawsuit. Radio personality tased by cops. Mistrial declared in suit. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
A radio personality gets arrested, tased by the police. She claims what happened was illegal. It looks like the department agreed because the cop had to go after an internal investigation started. However, there's a twist in the case. Put up the picture full mask.
Here it is.
Traumatized, obviously,
Of course.
by this whole ordeal.
Yeah.
And they keep re-traumatizing because no justice has been obtained. Cree Montag says she's questioning everything after a 2018 Atlanta traffic stop that left her stunned by a taser while in handcuffs, okay? In handcuffs, with millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable. We just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. A judge recently declared a mistrial in that case. This is a civil rights lawsuit involving a former Atlanta police officer who was accused of excessive force after he tased an up-and-coming radio personality. She's a remarkable person, by the way, a great individual. This was during a traffic stop more than 5 years ago. The case stems from an October 2018 incident in which the radio personality, then a 22-year-old commentator for Hot 107.9, was handcuffed and tased by Atlanta Police Department officer Lemuel Gardner after he pulled the woman over for speeding and not signaling while changing lanes on I-20. After more than 5 years, the trial began last week and took place over 4 days before the jury members emerged on March 15th, saying they were unable to reach a unanimous verdict. Attorneys on both sides immediately moved for a mistrial and agreed to try to settle the case out of court instead of holding a second trial. We shall see. She took the stand on that day, and the trial last Thursday, testifying that the 2018 encounter left her traumatized and, quote, questioning everything, while she also struggled to maintain her career. She struggled to maintain her personal relationships, as well as her self-identity. She even left her job at the station and worked odd jobs as she tried to put her life back together. Quote, everything I had been working for, I stopped doing. I felt like it was all a waste. It was like pointless, she said, according to Law 360. The lawsuit claimed Gardner first handcuffed her on the side of the highway and went back to his patrol car with her driver's license. While the officer was away briefly, the radio personality attempted to remove the shirt she had on because it was printed with the Hot 107.9 logo. And I absolutely understand what she's attempting to do. She doesn't want a picture, a mug shot, anything that shows the company logo. All right? She's thinking about not only the company, but also her career.
Yeah.
When Gardner noticed that what she was doing, the officer tased the woman without provocation, no warning, no question, nothing. And then, after tasing her while handcuffed, tried to force her into the cruiser, the lawsuit claimed. Now remember, APD did let this guy go. Ultimately, she was let go that night after the officer issued 4 traffic tickets. All of that over traffic tickets, once again. Lawyers for Gardner said her injury stemmed from her admission that she was trampled during a concert that she attended earlier in the evening, which led to her aggressive stance toward the officer. So they're making the case that she was injured prior to the event with the officer. Defense attorneys also provided evidence of a social media post where she lashed out at Gardner and other police officers with insults and profanities. I said, F you. I said that he had a little, I said a lot of things. She admitted on the stand. 2 years after the traffic stop, she was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder as she grew distant from her own family and turned to alcohol to deal with nightmares and flashbacks. She told the jury. Previously, her lawyer, Attorney Davis, was a good friend of mine and has been on the show multiple times. Attorney Davis pointed out that Gardner did not activate his body camera during the vehicle stop, leaving no video evidence to support the woman's version of events, but vowed that medical evidence would ultimately prove that she was assaulted by the officer. Lawyers for the officer said the on-air personality was belligerent toward Gardner during the traffic stop, leading him to brandish the weapon. Now, I'm going to pause on that point just for a second. Belligerent. She's handcuffed. Okay? Belligerent. You know, there's no statute that says it is illegal to be belligerent.
Just like there's no law. There's no law or anything which says you can't be a total dick and an asshole and belligerent, like telling the cop like "fuck off," "fuck you," "hey, you're a fat pig," and you got a little dinky dink, like shit like that. No law against that. Just like there's no law against shading your displeasure, exercise your First Amendment of freedom of speech. No law against that.
There is no felony code nor misdemeanor code.
None.
That says it's illegal to be belligerent. As a matter of fact, we have a constitutional code.
Yep.
That says you have a legal right to be belligerent. It's called freedom of speech.
That's right.
There's more.
First Amendment.
That led him, according to the defense, to brandish his weapon, but claimed he stopped short of using it on the woman. The officer resigned amid an internal probe. He left because of the incident, and the charge of reckless driving against the on-air talent was completely dismissed. February 2019, no basis for it. Okay? The same month, the Georgia State University graduate filed the lawsuit. In a statement to Atlanta Black Star, she thanked her attorneys for fighting on her behalf. With heartfelt gratitude, I extend my sincerest thanks to the Davis Bozeman law firm for their unwavering support throughout the past 5 years, as well as to the esteemed judge and jury, she wrote. This journey has been profound, a profound blend of self-discovery and empowerment. From disappointment, I glean newfound direction, which I will wholeheartedly embrace as I navigate towards my destiny. We're going to bring you updates as they may develop to see if there's a settlement reached here. The officer, in my opinion, should have been arrested and charged with crimes. It was very clear when Internal Affairs looked into this. He lied on the police report. You already have violation of oath of office right there. He physically assaulted an individual in handcuffs, brandished his weapon when there was no threat or provocation, and decided to tase another human being while metal is literally on their body. All right, Ricky, thoughts here?
Yeah, it's crazy because she had to deal with that for the rest of her life, and he's gone on about his business, probably hired by another city to be a police officer there. I know that young lady. She worked on my morning show. She ran the Ricky Smiley morning show for Hot 107.9 when we were on the hip hop session before we took over for Tom Joyner. And that is a very hard-working, kind, very respectful young lady.
She is.
And I remember that happening to her, and I couldn't think of it at first, and then it hit me. But I really hope that she get another opportunity. Because with a mistrial, I believe she get another shot at it, right? So I hope that she get justice. And I just really hate that you cannot sue a police officer for that kind of behavior. That police officer should be locked up.
And the problem with it. The problem is it's kind of hard to sue a cop like that, but it's not impossible. I've seen cases where people sue the certain officer, department, or sometimes a city like that. But a lot of times these cops and police officers get away with that kind of scrutiny and that disgusting behavior because what do they got? Qualified immunity. And just like I've been talking about off and on, and Gomez knows well too about Brady violation. Dumbass Scotty wants to talk. All he wants to do is pump out the mouth stuff like that. I said no. I'm expanding abroad about how cops lying on the report or misuse of force, or they lie on the stand or misplace evidence. That's called a Brady violation.
And put in jail, because if that was me or you or anybody else, we would be in jail for assault.
That's right.
And battery.
That's right. And to our dear sister, obviously, we're here to support you.
Yes.
We are a community. We are a family. And you have nothing to be ashamed of at all. I'm thankful for your leadership, and I know it's tough. And I know unfolding these dimensions of who you are and what this world is in front of the world at the same time can be very difficult. But you are one of the most remarkable people I've ever met.
You know, it's just crazy. Well, too, I've always talked about, you know, but Bonnie Benchmore doesn't understand this as well, too, that people do have rights, and people are going to exercise their rights. They're going to stand up for the rights when they deal with police officers like that. He always, like, him and, like, the Father Dweeb Network and, like, Kenny and Josh, they're the type of people who say, oh, you don't have no rights when you're being stopped or detained by a police officer, or just comply and just obey like that. No, people in this day and age they're not going to give their rights. People like, you know, they know they have the rights, you know. First Amendment freedom is 5 different things: freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition your government. With that said, I'm out of here. My job. Peace out.